welcome back to my channel. So today we're doing another would I repurchase these palettes type of videos. I've done 2 of them in the past. You guys seem to really enjoy watching them, and honestly I really like doing them as well. Just picking out some palettes from my collection and deciding, would I really repurchase these? Like, come on. Makeup is expensive these days. Would I retake the time and retake the money to repurchase these palettes or not? Before we get started, if you like this video while you're watching it, please go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. It really does help my channel out. And other than that, if you're excited and you want to hear if I would repurchase these palettes or not, let's go ahead and get started. Please ignore how red my chest is in this whole video. My chest is like my neck, all right here, is so incredibly dry. It is the Sahara Desert. I am not sure if it's pregnancy or just the weather cooling down, but like my chest, my face, my hands, I am so dry everywhere. Please ignore this, please, because it's not that pretty to look at, but I'm putting lotion on, I'm trying to remedy it, and it's just doing its own thing. I'm gonna go ahead and have the other 2 videos like this that I've done linked down below in case you missed them and you wanna check them out. And for this one, I went ahead and did a random number generator and I got the number 7. So I just went through my collection, picked out every 7th palette to talk about, and I have a good mixture of high-end and drugstore, so I felt good about that. So let's start with the most affordable one out of all the ones I'm going to be talking about today, and it is the Essence My Rose Will Go On palette. These are $3.99. When you look at this, it looks like a really pretty, beautiful, just sort of like pinky, corally eyeshadow palette. These tones are pretty wearable. I feel like a lot of people would enjoy this color story. I have 2 other palettes like this. I have the Bronze This Way and I have Dancing Green. They are way better in my humble opinion. This is just not as good quality as those other 2. And I'm not entirely sure like what the breakdown was between those 2 and this one, but this one just doesn't show up as much on me. These 2 mattes look exactly the same pretty much when you apply them to the eyes, as well as these 2. And then the shimmers are just not as impactful as I would have wanted. I will say though, when I did my review on this, because I did a video dedicated to this little palette, I had a couple people comment on it saying that because it's not insanely pigmented, that's why they think they would enjoy it. So if you are someone who struggles with eyeshadows being too pigmented on you and just being too impactful, I think you might like this, but for me, it's just not my cup of tea, and I definitely wouldn't repurchase it, even though it is like insanely affordable. Then I got pretty lucky and I was able to pick the eyeshadow palette that I actually have on my eyes today, and it is a Sydney Grace Tiny Marvels palette. This was in collaboration with Mel Thompson. Mel has unfortunately passed away, however, we have this beautiful palette to always remember her by. This is the palette that I have on my eyes today. I did go ahead and do like a new sort of video style for me. I did like a no talking, relaxing sort of get ready with me. I'm gonna throw on some like relaxing piano-y spa-like music. I don't know, I haven't edited it yet. I just filmed it a few minutes ago. If that video is not out, it will be my next video, and if it is out, I will have it linked in the eye and down below for you guys. I think it's gonna be my next one though. I think this one's going up first. If I edit it and like it though, like I said, I've never done that type of video, so we'll see. I've seen a couple other creators do it and I really like watching them. It's just a really nice, relaxing sort of video, so I'm hoping I can edit it nice and put some like pretty music on it and I like it. So hopefully you see it and it's the next video up. Maybe you'll never see it and I might scrap it. I don't know. But anyways, like I said, this is the palette that I used in that video and the palette that I have on my eyes today. I would 1,000,000% repurchase this palette. It is absolutely stunning. The Sydney Grace formulation is top notch, like truly. Their mattes blend together like a dream. They do get a little bit patchy on me, but all mattes get patchy on me. I'm not that worried about it. And the shimmers, Sydney Grace shimmers are so impactful. Like they are just something special. On my eyelid today, I have this Fire Butts shade, and it is seriously so just impactful and stunning. You would have to pry this out of my hands. Like truly, I love this palette. And Sydney Grace is kind of pricey. It's a little pricey. I want to say this is $54. Do not quote me. I do not know. But it is definitely up there in price. But honestly, in my opinion, it is worth absolutely every single solitary penny you could ever spend on this one. And I also have Enduring Love. That one is beautiful as well. I need to get more Sydney Grace eyeshadows. I just haven't quite yet because they are pricey. But the quality, absolutely amazing. Yes, would definitely repurchase. Then we have a palette that I'm a little conflicted on. I actually don't know what I'm about to say. If I would repurchase it or not, I guess you'll know in 1 second. But it is the Pat McGrath Labs in Bridgerton collection. But this is the second palette they released. So this is the Mothership Belle of the Ball. Again, they have the first one and then this one is the second one. How am I gonna hold this so it's not like awkward? Okay, knowing how much I use this palette and the fact that I was a little tiny bit disappointed in it when I got it in makes me want to say that I would not repurchase it. However, I know myself, like the reasons why I purchased this palette, I feel like I still would have those reasons. I loved the first one so incredibly much, and I still use that palette very, very often. It is one of my go-tos for like a really quick, easy look. I love that palette. So the reason why I picked up this second one is knowing how much I loved the first one. And I don't think that that would have changed. So I feel like I would repurchase this. Does that make sense? I feel like I don't know if I'm explaining that correctly. If I had never tried this before, yes, I would definitely repurchase it. I guess if I had lost it, if I like this one got destroyed or I lost out of my collection, in that sense, maybe I wouldn't repurchase it then, because I just never really use this one, sadly. There's just something about this one that is not as special to me as the first one. So never buying it before and knowing the first one, yeah, I would buy this again. But like I said, if this one got lost, I don't think I would. It's just not as special to me as the first one, and I don't use it as much. So does that mean I wouldn't repurchase it? We're gonna go with that. We're gonna go with no, I wouldn't repurchase this. Then we're back to a little bit more of a drugstore, more affordable brand. And this one is from Colourpop. This is their Star Wars, The Mandalorian, The Child palette. This is a really pretty, like soft green color story. And I do like me some green eyeshadow. So I feel like I would repurchase this. I don't get as much use out of this as I would like, if I'm going to be completely honest, but I do love that these green shades are so soft and a little bit more on the quote unquote wearable side, but you also have this like really neutrally sort of trio right here that you can make a really nice everyday sort of eye look if color scares you. But then if you do want to dabble in color a little bit, you do have these greens as well. The shimmers on this, beautiful. Like truly, they are so beautiful. And the mattes are as well. I just think this color story is so pretty. And again, it's Colourpop, so it's pretty affordable. So yeah, I would definitely purchase this. Then we have the Anastasia Beverly Hills Nouveau palette. So I feel like I'm going to surprise some of you guys when I say that I don't think I would repurchase this. If this was like lost out of my collection and I didn't have it anymore, I don't feel like a strong enough pull to this palette to spend the money to repurchase it. Is it a beautiful palette? Yes, definitely. The quality is there. I've made really pretty looks out of it. The shimmers are nice and impactful. They're typical like thicker ABH shimmers that are gonna give you some fallout, but for the most part are very impactful on the eyes. The mattes are nice. It's just this color story is not my perfect color story. With the mattes that they chose, I do find it a little hard to create a cohesive look that isn't just using like one or two shadows, which is okay. Like I used like 3 shadows on this look right here and you can't even really tell. It kind of looks more like 2 shadows. So I'm okay doing really simple, easy like 2 shadow looks, but I don't know. I just feel like the different shimmers don't go together super, super well. And then the mattes are kind of, something about this palette makes me struggle a little bit. For the price tag, I don't think I would repurchase it. However, the packaging, stunning. I love this. This is probably my favorite ABH packaging of all the palettes I own from them. Then we have the Urban Decay Naked Honey palette. So this palette, I wanted it for a very, very long time, but I refused to pay full price for it because Urban Decay and ABH, both of them always go on sale. I think the Nouveau palette is like the only palette I've ever paid full price for, and I ended up using Ulta points for it to get a little bit money off. But for the most part, you can always get those palettes on sale, which is what happened with this one. I wanted it for a while, and then it finally went 50% off, so I snagged it for like $25 or something like that. I don't like this. I don't like this as much. Okay, I don't dislike it. I just don't like it as much as I thought I was going to. I thought this was going to be like the most perfect, beautiful, warm tone, everyday sort of palette. And while it is, I just don't think the quality is there. A lot of the times these mattes end up looking exactly the same on my eyeball. Even this really deep one down here doesn't deepen the looks up as much as I would want it to. And then kind of like the mattes, the shimmers all look the same on my eyes. So I feel like every look I make with this palette is the same. It's gonna be a really pretty warm tone look and I'm gonna like it, but it's gonna be really, really similar, you know what I mean? So I just never reach for this, and no, I would definitely not spend my coin to buy it again. One I would repurchase, even though it is a little bit bougie and rather expensive, is this one right here from Pat McGrath. This is her Mothership Midnight Sun palette. I believe this was the first Mothership I purchased. I think it was. I ended up getting it on sale. She does sales a lot, so I got like 30% off or something like that, which was nice. It was still like $90 or something crazy like that, but I did get it on sale. I wouldn't repurchase it for full price, but I would buy it again on sale like I did the first time. These two mattes just go together really nicely with the shimmers, and then the 4 special shades in this palette are just chef's kiss. They are perfection. For the most part, I really love this palette and I really enjoy the looks that I make with it. And even though it's pricey, is she pricey? I rebuy it. Full disclosure, this next palette was sent to me in PR from the brand, but I did want to still mention it. And it's the Colourpop Bare Necessities palette. So I really, really like this palette. I was actually a little bit shocked by how much I enjoy it. I am not someone who's really into larger palettes like this anymore. I just don't think to reach for huge palettes like this with all these colors. I just find them to be pretty overwhelming. But this color story is so cohesive that when I look at it, I don't feel super overwhelmed. Like you have a lot of warm tones right here you can go into. You have some berries. You have some cool tones on this top row. The quality is really nice. The mattes are nice. The shimmers are beautiful. I mean, it's Colourpop quality. Sometimes they're hit or miss, but this one is definitely a hit. However, even though I am like raving about this, I don't think I would repurchase it because I had ample opportunity to purchase this before they sent it to me in PR, and I just never did. It's just not necessarily something I need in my collection. I don't reach for it all of the time. However, when I do, I think it's a really pretty color story and the quality is there. So if you had your eye on this and it goes on sale, I recommend picking it up. Like, I do like it. I'm glad I have it in my collection. I just wouldn't rebuy it because I don't need it, but it is beautiful. Alrighty, 2 more palettes. The next one is the BH Cosmetics Lost in Los Angeles palette. This palette is just a really beautiful pastel-y sort of color story, which I really enjoy. Do I get a ton of use out of this palette? No. Is it a little overwhelming? A little bit, yeah. When I look at this color story, I don't see a ton of looks that I can make because the colors are all kind of random. Like the mattes to the shimmers, they're just a little bit random, I'm not gonna lie. So like when I make looks with this, I do feel like I struggle a little bit coming up with looks. However, the looks I make, I really do enjoy. And BH is such an affordable brand that it's really nice that they're giving us options for pastel colors at an affordable price point. I know that pastels can be pretty hard to formulate, so the fact that they're giving us pastels for a good price point is awesome. I would repurchase this. I think it's a really unique color story. Is it random and I struggle with it? Yeah, a little bit, but for the price and the quality, I like having this in my collection. I like reaching for it. So yeah, I would definitely take my money and rebuy it. And last but not least, we have one more that was sent to me in PR, but again, I did want to mention it, and it's the What's Up Beauty Geodes palette. This palette is really pretty. Have I used it enough times? No, definitely not. I want to say I've used this twice, which I know is not very many times to like judge it enough to realize if I would rebuy it or not, but I think I would. I think this palette is really beautiful, and it's nice to support an indie brand. What's Up Beauty is an indie brand. They're a little bit smaller. They have this and some brushes, which are also really nice if you're in the market for new brushes. I really do enjoy their brushes as well. This side of the palette is a little bit more pinky tones and they go together really nicely. And then this side's a little bit more like poppy, punchy, orangey greens and all of that. And the quality on this is nice. It's good. The mattes are really pretty. The shimmers are impactful on your eyes. Is it my most used palette that I go to all the time? No, but I feel like I like it enough that I would repurchase it. Plus the packaging is just so cool. Oh my gosh, look how amazing that is. They like knocked it out of the park with this packaging. And that was it, you guys. That was another would I repurchase these palettes sort of video. I got more palettes to talk about. So I definitely can do an episode 4 of this if you guys are interested. If this is well received on my channel, again, I will do another one in a month or 2. Like I said, I just have fun doing these videos and really thinking through, would I rebuy that? Because a lot of times you just consume makeup and next thing you know, you have a lot of it and you're like, I don't know what to do with all this. So it's nice to just really think about, would I spend my money on this again? Let me know down below, do you own any of these palettes? Do you like them? Do you not? Do you agree with my decision to rebuy it or not? If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much. You're awesome and I love you. Please subscribe if you have not yet, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye guys.